Welcome back to the farm, everyone, and Happy New Year. It is a cold one here in Oklahoma on the Greenfield Family Farm. It decided to show up and be winter this week. It's the first time it's really been this cold, so we've been out here checking on the animals and checking on waters and taking care of things. And we've had some requests from some of our loyal followers to continue making the videos. So we took a little break. We were having some time constraints and issues with technology and computer programs and stuff like that. So it just got frustrating, and we quit doing it and didn't realize there was as many people watching them as there were. And so we decided that we would start trying to do it again. And if we get to where we're getting people watching them more frequently, then maybe we'll invest in a little bit better computer equipment, a little bit better camera equipment to make it a little bit easier to do. But anyway, come with us and we'll give you an update of what's going on the farm.
This little doe is one of our newest goats. Her name is Wanda, and we got her back in August when she was only 5 months old. She will be one of Carl's girls, and she'll be almost a year old by the time her breeding season comes around. She's pretty scared. She's pretty nervous. She wasn't really handled when we bought her, so once again, we have a doe that's a little bit skittish, but they usually come around as they get older. We don't have too much of a problem. Look how scared she is. Are you scared or are you cold? And this is our first little lady. This is Millie. She was one of our very first does on the farm. She was our first doe on the farm. And she is going to have babies within the next 2 weeks. Lately, she's given us 2 before, but lately she's just been having 1. And that's why she doesn't get very big. And this is doe number 2. This is our Dixie. She usually gives us 2, but last year she gave us 3. She was a lot like Wanda was. When we first got her, we couldn't really handle her. She didn't want to be touched. She didn't want to be around us. But now she's calmed down. She's loved. She knows that she's not in danger, and we're hoping that Wanda will turn out like this also. And she's due any day. She's got a good size udder. Her ligaments are softening. She's starting to get really squishy back here. Her bag's getting nice and tight and full, and her sides have dropped down. So she's due any day. Okay. And this wild doe, this is Cookie. And probably about a week or 2 after we got Cookie, she had twins for us. She came to us bred, and we didn't know what we were getting or what she'd been through, and she gave us 2 beautiful babies. We retained her son as a buck for our, for our younger does, who came from our buck Carl that we keep, that we breed these does to, so that they had a non-related breeding partner. Anyway, Cookie is also due any day now. Her bag is getting very full and her ligaments are getting very soft. We didn't know how to catch her breeding because we had to take her out halfway through the month that she spends with the buck, because she had gotten a sticker or a piece of wood in her neck that had an abscess, and so I had to separate her. I had to treat her, had to use a knife to open it up and get all the fun out, but she's forgiven me. She didn't like me there for a little while after I'd done it, but she's forgiven me now, and she's back to being her sweet self. Sometimes she's a bit of a monster, but anyways, this is Cookie. Okay, this is our junior varsity team. These are our does that have come of age and have been bred by our little buck Ferdinand. These are all Carl's daughters. but out of different mothers, and 2 of the mothers we don't have anymore. So we've kept their children. And they'll be due to kid in about 4 months from now. Okay, this is the meat pen. This is where we keep all of our wethers, our banded males that we intend to use for meat. This is the first year we're doing this, and the first 2 on the chopping block are these big boys right here, Herbert and Beans. Pretty soon they are going to be on our dinner plates.
And a little side note, with projects coming up, this big gate right here is going to get removed, and it's going to go down there to that corner, and that little gate's going to come down here. Reason being is when we bring hay out, we have to go through 3 gates to get in here to put hay out. By moving that big gate down there to that corner off the driveway, I just have 1 gate to go through, and we don't really need a big gate between the pastures down here on this end.
Alright, this little guy is Pip, and his brother is this smaller blonde one. His name is Brutus, and they had a rough start. They were a threesome. Their sister has actually gone to another farm, but these 2 boys kind of got sick when they got started. They kind of had a rough start. That's why they're so much smaller. Okay. So Brutus should grow up to be regular size, but Mr. Pip here is never going to quite be the size that he needs to be. And so he is going to be saved. This little guy isn't going to be good for meat or anything else, but he'll be great for a companion animal. Goats are herd animals, and they don't do good when they're on their own. So if for any reason we have a goat that needs to be kept to itself, this little guy right here is going to be their friend. And this is Pip.
So one of the things that we do in the wintertime is we like to cut firewood, and it keeps us active, it keeps us busy, and in turn we make a little bit of money the next year. As you can see on our place here, we've kind of cut just about everything down that we can cut down, but my aunt and uncle recently purchased a property not too far from here that's overgrown, so I've been over there cutting firewood on it. And so far this year, this is what I've cut. Got some real nice oak here, and then some other stuff, and then this week I will go cut some more. But one purchase I made with my business this year is I bought this big green dump trailer here, and it has made life a lot easier hauling firewood, because we just load it in the trailer, take it to the customer's site, and we just dump it on the ground if they don't want to pay extra for stacking. And if they want to stack it, then it's still easier, because we just raise the bed up and it slides it all to the back of the trailer, and we just pick it up and stack it. So we made pretty good money doing it this year. We ran out of wood a lot faster than I thought we would, and so we're going to try to cut a little bit more this year. Alright, so one other purchase that I have made this year, I replaced the old pumpkin tractor, the first tractor that we bought when we came here. We had outgrown it, and for what I was using it for, it was no longer safe, so made the decision to go ahead and purchase a much larger, much more practical tractor for what we're doing. So this is dubbed the Tomato, and it is a 57 horse tractor with a cab and all the bells and whistles, and you'll be seeing it in some videos here pretty soon. I'll do some demonstration videos and stuff like that, because this is in my opinion, a really good tractor for homesteaders starting out, and I will try to do my best to showcase how that is applied on our farm. As you can see, we still do not have a fence here between us and the neighbor, so that's going to be a thing. I'm getting ready to put a fence in. We're going to do it, and we're going to turn our animals out here. We have a bunch of nice grass coming in, a bunch of shade, a bunch of shelter, and our animals will enjoy this. And if I can think to find a picture, I'll try to put a picture in right here about what it looked like before we started. And here we are, we're across the creek. As you can see, this is the pen we built in one of the last videos that we made. And you have Big Carl back there and his companion Eddie. And then the little guy right here that just turned around and looked at me, that's Ferdy, or Ferdinand. He is Cookie's little boy that she had earlier this year, and we kept him as a breeding buck. And he is fantastic, just like Carl. Super friendly, super pleasant. Carl's a little angry right now because Carl's right here. The barn's literally right there, and Wanda is in season and he can smell her, so he's not happy. And this guy is just awesome. Ferdinand is such a little sweetheart, and so good with the kids, and Carl is too, but he can be a little rambunctious just because he's a bigger boy and he's my boy. I can control him real well. But anyway, this is the pen where we've got him over here. We went ahead and we expanded. We put barbed wire up right here, made a little lane right there, and we fenced this in out here. And we did it with barbed wire, one, because it's temporary, and two, because when it floods, the water gets up to here. And we didn't want trash getting all in our fence and having to maintain it all the time. But we went ahead and went off this little section right here and fenced it off, because to our surprise, when we turned all these goats out here, it was Carl and Eddie and Vera, who is no longer with us. She passed away. But when we put them in there, they had that ate down in like a day. So we had to do something different. And we've got hay out here for them now just because it's winter time and it's cold. And we've got some makeshift shelters out here. That big shelter you saw out in that front pasture with the junior varsity squad was supposed to be out here, but we put it out there. And we're going to do something different come springtime. Alright, we're down here now at the far end of this temporary pen that we built. As you can see, we just went ahead and barbed wired all the way down through here. We put the fence stays in here. Like I said, this was just temporary, but we learned a lot doing this. And so we're actually going to go and we're going to fence off this corner down here like we did that pen down there with metal, corner post and all that. I'm going to take that big tree right there out. I'm going to take that little tree, that first little tree out, and then this fork tree, and these two big trees are going to stay because they're just huge, and I can't keep them from going into the neighbor's place and tearing up their fence because I just don't have any room over here to fall them. So we'll put in the fence here permanently like we're going to, with T-post and panel, or field fencing all the way down to about right here to this tree, and then we'll put a temporary panel in right here. And we'll do that this year, and then all the way down this side of the property we're going to use our barbed wire technique because it does flood so bad and it really needs to be put in permanently, but I'm just not going to have time to get that done this year, and I want to get the animals turned out here. So we'll use our barbed wire technique and see what happens, and then we'll leave this pen for now and the barbed wire across the back, and what will happen is we can block this pen off, and I can come out here and I can start cutting these trees down next fall, next winter, and slowly but surely start taking trees out and putting our fence up, and then we can take this temporary fence down. But that's an upcoming project. We'll get some footage of that and just some of the things that are going on the farm right now. Okay, well, we're freezing now because it's like 21 degrees out here and it's been 70 all winter, so we just want to give you guys a quick update about what was going on the farm. The only thing I can ask is that you share this content and tell people about it, because we get asked all the time, why do we do this? Why are we living this lifestyle? Why are we doing these things? And when we explain to people, they get real surprised and didn't realize how easy it is to get started doing this. How easy it is to become more self-sufficient and to have your own food sources and things like that. Because the world's coming to scary times. It's hard to find stuff on the shelves at the stores now, as everybody's probably noticed, and doing this kind of lifestyle. We don't have it perfected yet, but we're practicing on it. But we should have food sources, our milk source. We have our garden in the spring and summer, and we're still experimenting with that. We're still trying to figure that out. But we're trying, and one day we'll get it figured out, and hopefully we'll be prepared for a disaster or something that goes on. But that's why we live this lifestyle, also because we enjoy it. Leah enjoys the animals, she enjoys all that, I enjoy all the work, and it also teaches our kids responsibility and how to care for things so that when they grow up they can choose to live this lifestyle or not, but they'll know how to do it. But anyway, thanks for joining us on the farm today, and we will work on putting out more videos, and we hope that you will watch them, and we look forward to seeing you again. Bye.